So now we have had cases in US, UK, Australia, Singapore, Canada. What is that? And we are responsible. These are the concerns, these are the international concerns. You talk of global health security agenda, all these things come, whether it's AMR, whether it's biosafety, whether it's biosecurity, everything comes down under the global health security agenda. And unfortunately, the latest list that has been dished out at the international level, Pakistan stands at 107 position as far as our present condition is concerned. You keep watching over the media, the stray dog, you keep hearing it's very difficult as a doctor to see those cases, unfortunate cases either inflicted with the disease or dying of the disease. Rabies, unfortunately, once you get it's fatal. Who's responsible? We are responsible. Let's take the responsibility. The problem is we don't take the responsibility at our own. We say every other, we are responsible. Safai nisvi iman hai. We keep saying that. What is that iman? We need to bring back that iman. सब चीजें हैं. अगर हम गंद इकट्ठा करेंगे, we are bound to have scavengers, we are bound to have stray dogs. और वो फिर breed करेंगे, उनको खाना मिलेगा तो breed करेंगे तो बहुत सारे हो जाएंगे. And then why we let the cases occur and then we want to treat them? Why not to go towards the preventive side? I keep telling the media, I'm sure I'll be talking separately with them on rabies, because this has become an unfortunate square. When the people, the whole of the world is moving from the non-communicable, has already done that. They are moving towards the non-communicable diseases. We are still fighting the war between communicable and non-communicable diseases. We talk of AMR, 70% of the prescription in Pakistan prescription without any requirement, because there is no legislation. So we are working now that we enforce this. Now, based upon all these things, what we did was, and let me tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy openly, I want to share that. But alhamdulillah, we prepared a national strategic framework, and Dr. Ijaz, very kind, and some of you have been part and parcel of that at the national level. Dr. Ijaz did a lot of hard work behind that. And then later on, what we did was making a national action plan for combating antimicrobial resistance. It's a very, very comprehensive plan. But again, planning is just one component. The true problem comes once you have to implement those things. And again, we lack over there. हर चीज़ खुदा के वाले करके हम फारग कर देते हैं. उनको बांधेंगे तो फिर आप उसकी प्रोटेक्शन की बात करेंगे. This is again, please, a message for all of you. कोई आपका काम नहीं करेगा, अपने खुद वो काम करना. ठीक है? I am proud of my team at NIH. We have a transformed culture. I want everyone working. They are working. They are delivering. NIH is delivering. And the same spirit can come in all the other departments. So with all that, we prepared the national action plan. The next stage was the costing. Again, huge and a very, very difficult task. Itna bada amount, itna paisa kahan se aayega? But when there is a will, there is always a way. And sabse badi baat, Allah ki madad bhi tab aati hai. Allah has been very kind as always. And we finally procured the grant. We did the costing, and now we have 2.8 million pounds from Fleming Fund, directly targeting AMR, antimicrobial resistance. And the second component is the government of Pakistan. So it's our duty to make the government realize the importance, and so very kind of the government as well as the Ministry of National Health Services Regulation and Coordination, that we submitted a PC1 which has been approved, again directly targeting the antimicrobial resistance. And one thing I want to share with all the audience, here sin doesn't mean sin. Balochistan doesn't mean Balochistan. KP doesn't mean KP. AJK doesn't mean AJK. They all mean Pakistan. We are Pakistan, and we have to deliver all across. And we move on this with this initiative. And actually keep repeating. You enter NIH, we got all the flags outside just to show the integration. Because, as I said, the microbe, they don't have any boundaries. They don't need any passport, they don't need any air tickets, they can go anywhere. Just a simple example of bacterial salmonella starting from interior sin and then moving out all across the country and then becoming global. So with all that in mind, we have a very comprehensive plan. We have already started working. We just, again, celebrating these days is just one component. I'm not much fan of doing that, but these are the things that are being conveyed to the world, so we have to do it. But what we are doing actually inside is more important. What is behind the doors, behind the cameras, that is far more important. So we have got dedicated teams now. NIH now, alhamdulillah, has got the capacity. to identify any organism. We are in the process of establishing a national referral lab center and going down to whole genomes and everything. So that's our duty. We have to do it, and inshallah we are on the job. We are renovating our systems. For the first time, we have been hearing about the public health lab networks all across the country. And today, alhamdulillah, we are so proud. We have established a state-of-the-art lab, nothing less than Quetta, and one in KP. 2 more are coming up in Sindh and 2 in Punjab. And we are making sure once we have 2, one lab in the largest city and one maybe somewhere interior. And similarly, GD and HAK. You're not forgetting anything. So this is again the strength of the system. Who you want to do it, you can do it. Similarly, moving on to the surveillance system, I think 2 years earlier once I joined, there was hardly anything by the name of surveillance, which is the main mandate of NIH. Because अगर हमें पता ही नहीं कि मुल्क में क्या फैल रहा है या आगे क्या फैलना है तो फिर हमारा काम क्या रहेगा. So we pick up this challenge. Today where you're sitting is a transformed place. You need to, those who have not simply visit our emergency operation center, which is no less than any international, by no means it's less than any international standards. And alhamdulillah, we have developed the real-time surveillance, and just to let you know that dengue, we have done for the first time for any disease, dengue has been done through real-time surveillance. We have the true actual figures from where it started, where it moved. So this is again, this is the strength of the system. You want to do this, the system should work, the individual should not. Today if I leave, the system should work. That's the system, and that's the culture we have inculcated at NIH, and alhamdulillah we have been very successful in that. So if you see that now we have one thing in hand for dengue, we are training our team in the next venture, that is the predictive modeling. How dengue is going to behave in the next few years in Pakistan. That's our job. That should have been done years earlier, but maybe there is a time for everything to start off. So with all that in mind, being a microbiologist myself as well, we're talking about Aamer. My only request to all of you is please at least start from home. Charity begins at home, so please start that charity at home. Stop taking antimicrobial yourself. Stop giving them to your children. Even if Dr. Ijaz had been alhamdulillah saying these words with 4 and 5 antimicrobial, all those nuskhas showing all around with so many workshops. So this is going on. My own mother was hospitalized. She was and I was away for 3 days, and she was being given 5 antimicrobials, 4 injectables out of it. This is amazing. So I came back, I just stopped most of them, only that which is requisite, only which is required. So there's definitely, I would say, scarcity of trained people in the field of microbiology as far as the technicians are concerned, as far as the microbiologists are concerned. But still, we are trying hard, and I think through these grants, we would like to establish our own systems within the country, whereby we would like to have a much better quality assurance. Again, I mean, you got so many labs all around. I think we need to do something about that very seriously as well. A single room can be converted into a lab, and then they can give you any sort of, without any quality assurance. That's yet another big dilemma that we need to address, and we are another. We have a national lab policy right now in hand, and we would be going for further processes in this regard, so as to provide the patient with the quality results. The problem is, if you see some labs doing these antimicrobial sensitivity, they would put in the discs which are actually not, otherwise the organism might be having intrinsic resistance to that drug. But again, they give the sensitivity, the doctors prescribe that, and more resistance comes. And it's a vicious cycle which unfortunately has been thrown in our country. One after the other, we keep developing these. And I would say we are not a manufacturing factory. Why should the people talk of XDR salmonella? We get a very bad, I get calls from Washington, New York Times, Washington Post. It's becomes so difficult to face. I mean, it's not difficult to face the media, but to protect yourself that definitely there is something wrong somewhere. Why would it occur? And I'm truly believing that we need to move together. Everyone, anyone. And then the institutional. We have the mandate, we are the national focal hub for antimicrobial resistance, for global health security, for IHR, and so many other related issues. If you go outside, you see the collage, that is our duty. And we are supposed to do it. And we are doing it alhamdulillah. So I would request my dear colleagues that you need to take these messages back home, back to your institutes. We need to curtail this antimicrobial usage. I mean, we conducted so many studies, but where do we start? Where do we implement? So start implementing from your own place, your own working place. Try to avoid these things, because we are. If you see the history of antimicrobial origin, as soon as penicillin was there, after some time there was penicillin is discovered and the drug went ineffective. Similarly, you keep on till the time you approach toward the end of the century, and the company started they're investing more on the chemotherapy rather than antimicrobial. There's hardly any new molecule that is coming up. So it's what they're doing, just the changes in the previous molecules and launching them in the market. And fortunately and unfortunately, Pakistan is the country where maximum number of antimicrobials are registered. Why? And if you see, just you pick up one brand of ciproxin or any quinolone, ciprofloxacin, or you pick up any cephalosporin, it's amazing the number of drugs registered. So I think we need to discuss in detail. We are in touch with the ministry. It's very kind. The government is very much focused. And you see the importance at the international level. This AMR has been again put up to United Nations General Assembly, and Pakistan is signatory to it. So once you sign, there are responsibilities. So the present government is very much focused on the health side. So I think with all their support, with the support of Ministry of Health, we would like to move on. As I told you, we have the grants in hand, £2.8 million and 500 million Pak rupees. So we have a huge strength. We are setting up an AMR coordinating center over here, and inshallah, and you'll see, in last 2 years we have transformed this institute, and now we are moving very rapidly. And taking this opportunity, I would also like to highlight this rabies scare. Again, no one else is responsible. We are responsible. I did talk about the stray dogs. Who's trying to curtail those stray dogs? हम इजाद करते हैं मरीजों को और फिर लाते हैं और फिर खुश होते हैं दिखा के. It's not the way. For us, कोई भी मरीज is the top right. बहुत तकलीफ दे होता है डॉक्टर के लिए कि किसी की जब मरीज के सामने जान जाती है. Please mind this thing. This is the most important thing. आपको बहुत तकलीफ होती है जब एक वीडियो वायरल कर दी जाती है एक बच्चे के बारे में कि रेबीज हो जाती है. We understand. माँ बाप के लिए कितनी तकलीफ है, we understand that. वो दिल हमारे अंदर नहीं, वो पैशन होना चाहिए. We have to be very much passionate about all these things, and only then we can salvage them. So my again request: if you talk of AMR, you talk of it. Prevention is far better than creating those patients. This thing is again very important. In particular, media's different stories coming on rabies and media. I would like to take this opportunity to say something about that. There are two things in. One is the rabies vaccine, and the second one is the anti-Sida. And you suspect you need to give anti. We are producing anti-Sida, but the thing is, people need to know to knock at the right door. And again, we are responsible for the public sector. Nowhere we are responsible for the private sector. DRAP is responsible for registration of everything, whether it's antimicrobial, whether it's vaccines, whatever, it comes under DRAP. People need to understand that, number one. Number two, as far as anti-Sida is concerned, Alhamdulillah, we are in the final stages of launching a mega project. It started in 2004 with 147 million Pak rupees, but again, due to various reasons, then September 11, the Finland company running away, it got stuck. And once I took over 2 years earlier, there was just a grey structure for the last 6 years, in a rotten shape. Nothing on that. Alhamdulillah, we fought our case, cost escalation, raised the amount to 751 million. We fought the case with the previous government. We got it. Inshallah, by December, this project will start production for anti-Sida. And not only anti-rabies, it will also be producing anti-snake venom, anti-diphtheria and anti-tetanus. So this will be a mega booster for the country. We are trying to set this example. Not an easy task, let me tell you. Not an easy task. It's been full of turmoil. But I bow my neck to Almighty Allah that He bestowed and blessed us with the dedication that we are in the final stages. So our teams have been to Australia, Germany and China for training. We have got all the equipment from abroad. We have the team. So this is just one aspect. You want to do, there's a will, there's a way. And then comes the God will as well. The second thing is vaccine production. And why vaccine production is important? It's part of global health security agenda. So vaccine have become much more important. And why I say so? Because AMR, if you want, there are vaccines which are available. The future is for vaccines. Pakistan unfortunately produces less than 7%. With huge population burden, we are just producing less than 7%. So again, we took up this initiative. Once I took over, the rabies vaccine was, unfortunately, the rabies, measles, all these units were shut down for some obvious or maybe some non-obvious reason, unfortunately. So what we did, we started rejuvenating Alhamdulillah. We started working on measles. After 7 years, we have produced more than 2 million doses. We started working on rabies vaccine. Alhamdulillah, we have till now produced 0.2 million. Again, I would like to say this thing, especially to the media, we produce for the public sector. We are not responsible for the private sector. But considering, again, the deficiency in the country, we are launching now various schemes. We have the approval. We are going for the feasibility studies. And we are joining hands with the private sector for manufacturing vaccines within the country. As far as rabies is concerned, the government, we have given a plan to them, and the requirement for the whole country right now is around 1 million doses per year. But if we start getting the dogs and the stray dogs, definitely the requirement will reduce. We have picked up this challenge, whether it's public sector, whether it's private sector, inshallah, we will produce. We have deposited the PC1 with the government of Pakistan that if you support us, we will launch a new filling unit and we'll start. And one more thing, I just had a meeting with Dr. Shepa, who was here from LUMS, and Alhamdulillah, vaccine, rabies vaccine has been tried, and inshallah we're going to publish that soon, and the results have been excellent. This is the thing that parallel we want to make things very realistic and practical. This is very, very important to understand. I mean, there was the launching of typhoid vaccine, and we know that there are certain problems associated with that as cropping up, maybe initial phases, whatever. But we pray that everything that is launched, it should be successful. In a country like Pakistan, we have spent 3 billion on including the conjugate vaccine in the EPI program for Salmonella typhi. So one more thing, that we are also producing, again, we talk of Salmonella, the vaccine that has been launched is effective only against Salmonella typhi. If you see the statistics, Salmonella paratyphi is rising up very rapidly. We get almost 40 to 45% of cases of Salmonella typhi. So what happens? So we are again producing TAB vaccine, which is against effective. We have 10 now contenders for that. We'll be having individual meetings for preparing the feasibilities for us. It's going to be either public come private venture, or it's going to be totally private venture for vaccine production. They're not interested in investing. We want to bring investment. We want to bring technology to this country. That's what needs to be done. So with all that in mind, clear. सिर्फ निस्फ ईमान पूरा कर लें सफाई का तो बहुत सारी बीमारियों से बच जाएंगे. ये एंटीमाइक्रोबियल रेजिस्टेंस कम हो जाए. आज पूरी दुनिया बता रही है हैंड हाइजीन. WHO has got to go to say जी हाथ ऐसे धोना है, इससे बीमारी कम लगती है. I would like to say this thing very, I say